We are told the 21st century is a new era in which you can reinvent yourself and become the person you want. And we are told this is a time of extreme tolerance and human rights. But is that true? Is everyone tolerated? Are everyone's rights balanced against those of others? But this is also a time of immediate sharing and access to an audience. People are redefining themselves as neither male or nor female and attaching themselves to the LGBT plus community. Do people in that community, which has always exist, think about this chaos around their identity group? Men decide to become women in order to receive less harsh penalties in prison or to satisfy a perverse impulse or practice voyeurism.
Miss Beck, who happened to be the only lesbian on the Baltimore LGBTQ Commission, was recently kicked off the commission. Gee, that's no way to treat a lady lesbian. What, pray tell, did Julia Beck do to suddenly make herself persona non grata? Well, while serving on the committee, Beck had made reference to a convicted rapist. Oh, oops again, I almost forgot to mention that the rapist in question currently identifies as transgendered. Yes, we're talking about British transgender woman Karen White, who was sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to raping 2 female inmates after he was transferred to a women's prison due to his declared gender change.
This strangeness was observed with the teacher at Trafalgar High School in Oakville, in Ontario. One of the teachers dressed like a woman with a giant breast prosthesis and is teaching minority students. Where is the safety of women and children?
But here at Oakville Trafalgar High School, drag queen story time is anytime. Mr. Lemieux, aka Miss Kayla Lemieux, is teaching shop class. You see, Mr. Lemieux is allegedly transitioning into a female, but that's not really news these days. What is news is the fact that his fake prosthetic breasts are so humongous, literally twice the size of a man's head and weighing about 35 pounds. As well, his nipples are always protruding and he wears see-through blouses.
In the 21st century, yes, there has been progressing in acceptance and inclusion, but now it is not ethical for society to contradict the discourse that has been put in place. Now, fears and concern are not allowed, and especially not to be expressed, especially if you don't want to be perceived as a homophobe, discriminating, and disrespectful person. People who have deviance, fetishes, or who simply want to reinvent themselves can use the LGBTQ plus umbrella, knowing full well that they will be protected from prosecution or reprisal.
28-year-old Bridget Klein Simpson has identified as a woman for years, and she wants to get into better shape, so she went to the Bodyworks Gym for Women in Parksville for a membership. Klein Simpson says she was initially welcomed, but after one workout she was informed she was not allowed at the women's only gym.
Saying, sorry, we made a mistake, you're not actually allowed to be here, but you're more than welcome to use the co-ed facility. And I kind of just hung up because I was devastated. I mean, there's really no other word for it.
Today, Lindsey Graham tells us the story she experienced in her gym. In the dressing room, she allegedly caught a biological man self-identifying as a woman looking at her bare chest. The individual in question, Lindsay say, is Paul Bixler, 72 years old, a member of the elementary school board of Liberty School in Arizona. This individual mentioned in 12 News that when his wife passed away in 2017, he decided to explore what he had a curiosity about being a woman. Previously married to his wife, Candace, Paul had two children. Now, Paul Bixler, who has been transitioning as a woman for about 5 years, sat as a decision maker at Liberty Elementary School. Many people have asked Paul to step down, but that doesn't seem to change his position. Lindsey Graham, a school mom, had already talked to the school board. Lindsay wanted to raise issue about Paul Bixler, who is around several minor children. I also wrote to Paul Bixler to get his take on the story. I didn't get any answer from him yet. Today, Graham discussed her interaction at Esposa Fitness with Paul Bixler.
Yes, my name is Lindsey Graham. I am the Patriot Barbie on social media. I'm a conservative political activist, a podcast host, the Patriot Barbie podcast, an author, and an entrepreneur, all the things.
And so you went at the gym and we saw this viral video of you talking to the police and also to a man who is a biological man but dressed as a woman. And what happened to you? Can you explain to us?
Yes, so I've actually spoken out against this man before. He sits on an elementary school board in my community, and his theatrics of dressing like a woman has actually become quite a distraction to the community and the children. So I was aware that he went to my gym, but I had never seen him there prior. So I was there working out already when he apparently came into the building. And when I was in the restroom getting undressed and cleaning up, he was in the locker room along with me and was able to turn around and see me undressed. And much like he could any woman that was in that locker room, thank God it was just me. There were no children. He was not undressing, thank goodness. But this is alarming that the gym and the police are allowing men to be in the women's locker rooms.
So what the police say to you when you did talk to them?
They said that because he had changed his driver's license to say female, that legally he was permitted to use female facilities and he would not be removed.
And what the gym say to you?
The gym, their policy is that he can use whichever locker room he feels comfortable. Yeah.
What do you feel as a woman to live in this kind of experience in society now?
It's appalling. It's disgusting. We shouldn't have to fight for these rights. These should be a stable, standard American right. Women now are going to have their security and safety compromised. There are no safe spaces anymore for women except in our own homes. And even then, some women don't have safe spaces. This is a fight that I'm willing to fight, not because I'm a victim, but because, if there was an 8-year-old, 12-year-old girl in that room, my daughter, this would not have ended the same way. And we need to protect those little girls that cannot fight for themselves.
And so, so nobody helped you out when you feel like attack in your personal space, especially because it was staring at you half naked. And how did you feel at this moment when either the gym and the police wanted to help you out?
Yeah, pretty helpless. It's very disturbing that many people are willing to stand by after everything that we've seen for the last 2 years. What happens when people stay silent? And I was the only one in that gym, other than, a few people around me that I knew had my support. No one else was willing to speak up and say, we do not agree with this. We need to be protecting this woman, and these women, and all future little girls and all future women. It's very disturbing that people aren't willing to rise up in a situation like this.
And what is your biggest concern about this rising issue that we see all over the society?
I am worried that the next time this happens, and there will be a next time, that a little girl is going to be hurt or raped or murdered, and there are no cameras in these facilities. And then there's no one who's speaking up about it and standing up for it. So I'm terrified that we're going to be in a society where I can't send my little girl into a restroom by herself ever. I have to be by her side at all times. And even then, we need to be carrying weapons. You know, we believe in our Second Amendment rights. We're going to have to carry weapons with us when we go into these facilities in case there are men in the women's locker rooms, in the women's restrooms, identifying as women.
Mm-hmm. And who is this man? Because you say that you know who he is.
Yeah, he is in this community, and he sits on an elementary school board. So he is sitting on a school board making decisions for little children. He's frequenting kids' events, fundraisers, the classrooms, and forcing the kids to call him a woman.
So at school, he's identifying himself as a woman.
Yes.
And so do the population around where you live have any concern about him?
I do. I know a lot of the parents do at this school. There's a lot of parents speaking up against this man. I believe that the community will rally together to protect our women if we need to. Now that there's been a lot of, light shown on him, I'm hoping that people will wake up and get active.
Mm-hmm. And do the school board is defending this man too?
No, 3 of the school board members have personally asked him to step down. His mental illness is a distraction to the community, to the education of the kids, to the school board meetings, and he cannot be kicked off. He has to be either recalled or step down willingly. So they've asked him to step down.
And he did not?
He will not.
And so what do you have to say, for your last word, to other people? Because you are based in US and I'm based in Canada. We live about the same kind of situation. What do you have to say about this new phenomenon that we see a little bit everywhere, but not only in US, but in Canada also?
If we don't do what's right morally right now, our daughters will be at risk the rest of their lives. It is going to be only a matter of time before one pedophile goes down to his local DMV and says, hey, I'm transitioning to a female, put that on my driver's license. And now he can access locker rooms, restrooms, facilities, changing rooms, hurt, harm, molest, rape a little girl, and we may never know. He could threaten her life, tell her not to speak, but he got access to that facility because we did nothing in this time and place. So we have to speak up now.
I called the gym to get also their side of the story. They refuse to comment the situation. Listen carefully.
Thank you for calling Board of Fitness. How may I help you?
Hello. Hi. Is it possible to speak with the manager?
I am the manager.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
My name is Alexandra Lavoie, and I had just a couple of questions for you. What is your politic in your gym for the people who are transgender? For the clothing rooms?
Yeah, so I think right now, actually that situation is being handled completely our corporate, so we're actually not allowed to speak on it as of right now, just because it is being handled properly.
So what did you do for handling the situation properly?
Well, it is being handled with our corporate and all that, so that is as far as we can give out. Then it is being handled properly with our company.
And so I just wanted to heard your side of the story, because the woman who went to your gym say that you didn't do anything for helping her out with the situation. Is that true?
And so as of right now, it is a legal matter, we're not allowed to comment on it or give our opinion.
On the fact that you cannot say if you help her or not.
Yeah, so no, since it is a legal matter and it is being handled with law enforcement and with our corporate company, we are not allowed to give out any information or speak on it.
So you can see Paul Bixler is part of the decision maker for the school system, but he's not the only one who are in the system around our children. So if you think that we should and we need to protect the children, go and sign our petition at stopclassroomgrooming.com. Sign it and share it. Thank you.